I'm on a date tonight, so I'll have to just fucking go to... No, I'll just do it in front of her, actually.
He's kept going! He scored! Oh, Stockport pressure. And the header into the back of the net! That's Coleman! Armstrong, played in the game. And a superb goal! Johnny did it! Lisa! Cracker! Rose tries to get the ball in. Wilkinson!
It's a 5-star performance from Stockport County.
All right, we got a small house, but we got a big bloody heart, I tell you.
God, aren't chocolate eggs great? Topical. Hello and welcome to the 97th appalling instance of SK3 TV, the show for the thinking county fan. As long as what the county fan is thinking is, probably is a bit weird, applauding a player who's got himself sent off by being stupid. More on that later. Yes, every week, normally on a Sunday, we are with you, giving you an hour of top county chat or so. This week it's on a Tuesday, probably on a different night next week as well, because of a bloody Wembley final. What do we do? What are we going to do with it all, Dave? It's too much.
I just don't know. It feels mental to me. We played football yesterday. Played a match yesterday. We're doing a podcast tonight, and it's Tuesday.
I mean, my days are everywhere as it is, because we played a 3 o'clock home game on a Friday, so that immediately feels like a Saturday.
Yep.
And then we had a 3 o'clock game on a Monday, also feels like a Saturday. And now we're doing a podcast on a Tuesday, which we normally do on a Sunday. So it's, thank God for calendars. Absolutely awful. But we do have a lot to chat about. We have got Wycombe. We have got yesterday's, quite frankly, fantastic afternoon of Nationwide League Division 2 football. It was absolutely bloody brilliant. And we will also be looking ahead to Sunday's trip to Wembley. But we can't do any of that without banging out a bit of top admin first. Gonna try something out now. We are, of course, fueled by the Blackbird Group. Like, I'm just trying a different one every week. Like, in association with, sponsored by. No, I think fueled. Fueled is good. Yes, we are fueled by the Blackbird Group, Blackbird Kitchen on the pans at Gorilla Manchester, on the fryers at Len's Chippy Droylsden, and also incorporating the newly relaunched Blackbird Burger on Just Eat. Also in the admins, our Gaz Owen episode is well. I looked at the numbers this morning, and people are getting Wembley fever, Dave, because
Spike has it.
It's spiked like a bloody. Well, there's two things that could be spiked: the drink of a naive girl in Freshers Week, or a volleyball. Let's go with a volleyball one. It's spiked like a volleyball. If you don't like volleyball, tough shit. That's the reference we're going for. Yes. Big numbers doing the rounds with that one, so that is still available on Spotify and on the YouTubes. Jonathan the Geordie Hatter is back this week, not on Thursday night as we've got used to, with what will be a big Wembley weekend. There will be a weekend show on either Saturday or Sunday morning when his guest will be none other than, give me a drum roll, Dave.
Which
That's Specky Twat off SK3 TV. Yeah,
one?
Me. It's me. You'd be worse than twat. So yes, keep an eye out on the socials. That'll be Saturday or Sunday. Sunday I will be consuming the game in the Alex. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that. Good pub, good boozer. Although I have noticed City are on at 4:30. So there's nothing worse. I don't know what it is, but when you apply for a bar job, I am pretty sure in the interview, they ask you to try and work a remote control. And if you can, you get it. Because no one who works behind the bar can use a remote control. So I'm very excited. I'm going to get in there about 12-ish. That gives them a good solid 3 hours to find the right channel. And then City are on at 4:30, so I'm fully expecting to get very annoyed.
Oh, no.
Just imagine that us 3-0 down, limping to another Wembley defeat, and then a load of fucking Stockport Berts walk in.
At least you'll be able to just walk out the door, though.
That's the beauty of pubs. You can walk out whenever you want to.
Yeah. Brooklyn, Paul White's daughter, there's a comment. Hi, Dave from Brooklyn. So I'd like to say hello, Brooklyn. We've been in Alec Park this afternoon. And she does a really good job of looking after Ethan every time we go out. So hello, Brooklyn.
Oh, that's good. That's good work. I might go Alec Park on Sunday, and if we lose, I'll go and shout at some pigeons.
Or you could shout at the new baby ducks that are there. There's 7 new baby ducks. Or you could shout at the terrapins, whichever you prefer.
7 baby. But the thing is, if I go and there's 6 baby ducks, I'll be plunged into some sort of existential crisis. We'll end up like Inspector Morse and his mate, like trying to solve the mystery of what happened to the 7th one. It's a slippery slope that I don't want to go down. Yeah, always. Oh, that's what I always do. Shall we get on to some top football action? 4 points from a bank holiday weekend. You can't argue with that. And we will get on to it after this. So we talked over the last couple of weeks about that Challoner style of play looking like it was making a comeback. I think it's fair to say Friday was probably evidence of that. Would you say so?
Yeah, straight from the off. I think straight from the off we got switched around, which we've done it before. It really bloody annoys me. But we shooting towards the Cheadle, and then we acted like it was a second half with the floodlights on. That's what it felt like. Straight from the off, we were going at them, going forwards with intent, not so much passing it around aimlessly. Every pass that we played was with some intention, and the first goal really kind of personified that. Some great play with Josh Stokes down the side, and then Odin Bailey he's one of them players you really always want to score a goal, because he never scores tap-ins, Odin Bailey, and Friday was no different. Absolute rocket.
The type of goal it's very rare that you see a goal like that aesthetically. I was big on the aesthetics of our goals on I use the word aesthetic so many times that I'm not convinced it's a word anymore. That was how my Friday went. Really pleased. There is something very pleasing about seeing a ball delivered in from wide, and it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, something that we're doing quite a lot, which we'll come on to for yesterday's game as well, of course. And Tanto finally got his goal that he's been pining for, that everyone's been pining for. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, Oscar, my son, came with me as I was warming him up for Wembley on Sunday, and he needed a wee. So I missed Tanto's goal. Like it never happened. Ever since he signed, I couldn't wait for the Tanto's on fire for his first goal back, and I fucking missed it, and I can't believe it.
Oh, that's so. Mind you, I missed. That'd be a good thing for people to get in touch with. What's the biggest county goal you've missed? I missed Ben Burgess's first goal at like the 14th time of asking, because I'd gone for a piss. Yeah, I'd been at like pretty much every game as well where he failed to score, and then thought, I'll go for a piss 2 minutes before half time. It'll be fine. And then so that was upsetting.
I got I was remember missing when we played Fylde in the FA Trophy semi-final. We'd equalised Ash Palmer, so I thought, right, I'm going for a piss for extra time. And then just as I was putting the old boy away, the toilets became overfilled with people. What are you doing? You having to win for extra time too? No, they've just scored. I'm going, fuck off. No, they haven't. And they had indeed just scored.
Yeah, Ryan Croasdale, if I remember rightly.
Yes, Ryan Croasdale, who's also scored just before we came live tonight for Port Vale against Rotherham.
Oh, a bit late now, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a shame. I did enjoy Vale's big cup day out being. That's how I'd want a cup day out to go for us. I'd want us to like keep it tight, lads. Oh shit!
At least he didn't get that goal. Who was it? Was it Chesterfield who went to Chelsea and scored at 5-1 down, and they all celebrated like they just won the league,
and had like commemorative prints made of it and stuff like very weird. I'd like to think we wouldn't do that, but based on some of the behaviour I saw yesterday, I wouldn't actually be surprised. We'll nip this in the bud. But Louis Barry is available for the cup game on Sunday, but get that done. sorted. We don't
Say no
have to
more of
discuss that anymore. Although on Radio Manchester after the game, they asked Dave Challoner if they were, and he didn't know. So that was a good sign. He's like, not got a clue.
Speaking of Ryan Croasdale again, topical. He got sent off in the EFL Trophy against United under 21s. Started the next league game, and I'm pretty sure Brad Hills got sent off earlier this season in the league to then play in the EFL Trophy game. So come on, we've done it. We know.
We've done this. We've done this. Excellent. Yes. So the Tanto goal was so aesthetically pleasing. It seems that we've worked out if we give Osborne the ball out wide in a bit of space, he doesn't need to have to try and take a man on. He can because he has got such a. I mean, the proverbial wand of a left foot. I know it's a cliche because you never hear of a player with a right foot described as having a wand. It's always left.
Oh, yeah.
You don't. No one ever said David Beckham had a wand of a right foot, even though that is the definition.
What do they call it? Do they call it anything?
No, I don't think they do.
No.
No, they just say like, oh, he could pick a pass anywhere on the pitch, whatever. But they never say, oh, maybe a cultured right foot. You get a cultured right foot.
Yeah. Well, now that's a good thing to think about there. Thanks.
There we go. You'll notice that now.
But yeah, like it was engine that can apply to both feet, can't it?
Yeah, and that's also been ruined by Alan Partridge now.
Yeah.
That's that's almost said knowingly now, upsettingly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll come up with some new ones. The only thing for all the talk of us going back to this style of play that served us so well and starting to see more of it, we're not half giving up some chances. So those previous two home games, Corey and I had to drag us out of the shit quite a few times. Finally got his Man of the Match award this week, when maybe you could have had a case for Odin Bailey getting it.
Not know maybe about it, but given Corey and I got robbed the week before, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. He was great first half, kept us in it, didn't he? But yeah, second half, he didn't have much to do. But that's nothing to do with him. Nathan Lowe, if he'd have got a good pass in the first half instead of 5 yards behind him, he would definitely have scored. But I don't think he did that well. He also got booed as well by, again, upper tier 3. Shock. Imagine my surprise that they'd boo an ex-football player. He didn't deserve a round of applause off the pitch either, by the way. But he didn't deserve booing.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's not like he's one of them who's turned up and just not tried and not given a shit.
Yeah. He turned up and played out of position.
Yeah, he's played out of position. It was very much a case of, well, let's sign him so that no one else can get him. And there's no thought for where he was going to fit in. Although at the same time, you'd maybe have said in the summer that what Kyle Wotton's game was missing was more goals. Yeah. Would we have been to know that he was going to have his most successful goal-scoring season? Maybe not. Maybe we thought there would be a point where he would lose his place and Lowe would come in. But at the same time, Lowe's not really shown himself capable of doing anything that Kyle Wotton can do in terms of build-up play and holding the ball up. So
not many can, to be honest, as a number 9 these days.
No, well, yeah, I'm sure if someone could, we'd have bloody well signed him.
Yeah. And then Sidibe rounding off the day with a lovely goal again.
Again, another of the types you rarely see someone rounding a goalkeeper these days.
Yeah,
that's another thing that's just died out. This has just fully turned into like Sam Allardyce and Tony Pulis' podcast.
Yeah,
which is called No Tippy Tappy Football. Wonderfully.
Well,
of course it is. Why won't it be? No. But yeah, it's very much, and it stemmed as well from Theo Eden being played in a more advanced position, presumably because he can't be trusted to defend.
Yeah.
So we saw the goal come from that on Friday, and then again yesterday. It's like nice to have another option up there, but not so good for a certain record signing, you would say.
No, it's not, unfortunately. But if the goals are coming from whoever they are, then we can only be happy, can't we? But yeah, I thought Sidibe was gonna, when he took it round the keeper, you see so often when they do try it that they fall over before they get to the ball, but he didn't. He's unbelievable, isn't he? You know, when we sign him, he's one of them, similar to Odin Bailey, similar to You'd go back to Miles Hippolyte as well, signing what the bloody hell he signed him for. We didn't, of course, because we would never question any signings, but some would.
No.
What bloody signing him for? And yeah, I don't know how many. I think I saw Ben Walker say something like he's got the most goals for a new signing in a certain amount of time, or he was joint with Anthony Elding, was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I think if he scores on Sunday, I think that'll beat Elding or possibly go level. Maybe. Yeah, it's not far. He's not far off now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a breath of fresh air, and we say it every week, but he's loving football. He's just doing everything right, and yeah, I think when him and Tanta are on the pitch at the same time together, it is frightening, isn't it? We said the other week towards the end of the game, and I thought they would both start yesterday. Obviously, Tanta. Did he get a knock, or is he the lone fall guy for Louis Barry to get back on the bench? That is my conspiracy for the evening.
I mean, well, it's a problem that's not going to raise itself for the next league game. That's for certain.
true. Yeah,
Ridiculously so. Anything else about the day as a whole on Friday?
Yeah, half time was wonderful.
Yes, everyone was out, weren't they?
Yeah, our mate Gaz was there, as we know. G-Stop, another Gaz that everybody liked, was there.
Yeah, wearing his sister's jeans.
Yeah, he was smoking outside the Cheadle End before the match as well, which shocked me to my core.
Well, the first time I ever did a podcast with him, before we started, I went outside to have a cigarette, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll come with you if you've got one." And I thought he was joking, so I laughed it off. But it turns out that he probably would have had a cig off me. Well, world's gone mad. Mind you, you can just point to Zinedine Zidane, can't you, and be like, "Well, he smoked like 10 a day, so
exactly." But I don't know who.
Same career.
I don't know who the player was. A bit before our time, but quite an older gentleman. After everyone had congregated in the middle, he walked towards Cheadle End himself, tapping his chest, basically saying, "I love County," clapping the fans, and it just felt to me like he's waited years to do that, to relive that moment, and it was almost a tearjerker just watching it, but it was great. Just great to be able to do something like that. Obviously, you get Osher Williams every other week, Mike Flynn on the gaps. But to get that many ex-players from so many different generations with so many different achievements was really special. I suppose the only shame was, the reason is clear. They were all playing, but none of the recent champions were there. So hopefully, in the years to come, 5 or 10 years from now, they'll all be there as well.
Apparently, Danny Lloyd is waiting for an invite to come back.
Oh, is he?
So get that sorted, lads.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been back. Apart from
what will come first. Danny Lloyd being on the pitch at half time, or my match ball, Lily's match ball.
Maybe both. Maybe we could link them both up.
Yeah,
have them as one big event. Yeah. Right, Wycombe. So post Wycombe, I started looking, as we did last week. I started looking at Cardiff's fixtures.
Yeah.
Because if we'd won at Bolton and Cardiff had lost their game, I was going to start the whole cycle of, we can still finish second here. If we keep picking up, we can finish second. Not because I believed it. Even if they'd lost both games and we won both, I still wouldn't believe it. But just because if it does happen, someone needs to be able to say, "I told you so." Someone needs to be able to say, "I called it," and who better than me?
Nobody.
So, that's gone anyway. That's gone. But what we did get yesterday was a genuine, really good afternoon of football. If I'd tuned in to watch that as a neutral, I'd be buzzing.
Yeah, it was great. We had everything. It was two teams at the top of the league who were going toe to toe to win the game. Two good teams. They went 1-0 up. We showed character, got back in, went up ourselves. They pulled it back to 2-2. They probably looked most likely to have scored at 2-2. Hit the bar, of course, late on. But it was just and the red card, of course, that we'll come on to. It was just a great game. Like you say, if you were a neutral watching that. I mean, I'm not a neutral, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
After the game, you sit there and you go, yeah, because we've been dealt with so much boring matches this year, even where we've won, that you'd take a 2-2, just an exciting game of football.
Yeah, I think the Wycombe game on Friday was the best 90 minutes we've played all season, I'd say.
Definitely, yeah.
And then that at Bolton yesterday was the most I've enjoyed a game this season. Just generally as a spectacle, really good. Big pitch, a lot of failure to win second balls from both sides, meaning often players had so much space in the centre of the big pitch. It was I just absolutely I never like describing a football match as a basketball match. It's always one of them phrases that boils my piss.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I think it was appropriate. I mean, we've got refereeing. I don't know if I'm in a minority. I don't think the referee was particularly bad. He seemed to want to,
because I don't either, and everyone's.
He seemed to want to let the game flow.
Yeah, and look, penalty or not, I like to use a barometer of if that got given against County, how would I feel?
That's
and
it.
The answer to that would be pissed off.
Yes, I think so.
Penalty? But also, what people are being very forgetful of or just ignoring on purpose is Sidibe was offside before that. That also
miles off.
Yeah. So, you can't have it both ways. Although
the only thing that makes me think it was a foul is the fact that, well, why would he go down at that point? Because he was in on the keeper then. But
yeah,
I suppose when you've got the pace he's got, you're more liable to be thrown off balance. Well, yeah, I didn't. I know we were 80 yards away from it at the time, but first instinct was offside and no penalty.
Well, I wasn't there yesterday. I'm going. Yeah, I wasn't there yesterday, so I had the benefit of replays and watched it a few times. One angle it looks a stone wall. The other angle doesn't look like one at all. So then imagine being the ref who has one angle, no replays. What I will say though is Ethan Pye definitely got fouled for their goal. I will mistake from Olowu that was completely avoidable. Ethan Pye's never been in that position to get fouled, but he was, and it was a foul, I think. A good finish.
Right. So I've not watched that back as many times, but my first instinct is that it was a foul by the letter of the law. But it was one of those fouls by the letter of the law that when you see it given, you go, "Well, I don't like the modern game. I hate the modern game." It was one of them. But yeah, you can see at the same time though, Pye has. It's almost a return to that overly casual defending that we've seen. Kind of after a few weeks where he's looked really solid again. There was almost that tendency to just look very casual. And
I thought it was our man of the match yesterday, to be honest, though, Ethan Pye. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I did. That goal aside, and I thought it was really good. Is it that he's next to Olowu, who I'm still unsure of, and he had a stinker? Yeah. Does that then make Ethan Pye look better?
It's worrying how willing teams are to let Olowu have the ball.
I would as well if I was playing against him. Go on, you have it. Give it back in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be getting it back. Don't worry. Yeah. It is a worry, isn't it? Defensively, because we just seem to get It's not even like it's one player making the mistake. It just seems as though everyone has a mistake in them. I mean, look, we'll be looking ahead to Sunday shortly. And looking at what we're going to have available, there's not a single defensive lineup that doesn't make me think, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
really,
I agree.
Really, really worrying. Wait,
but having said that, it's on another big pitch. Luton don't like pace. They've not got the fastest back lines. So if we can do what we did in the second half, moving on back to yesterday, that second half came out with a point to prove, and I think that first 15, 20 reminded me a little bit of Bradford at home in that first half against them, where we just absolutely dominated. Eden with the goal, but Bailey's created that with out wide with Wharton, who played it back into Norwood, who had a shot deflected to Eden. And when it falls to him, he takes that touch and misses it. You think, oh, you'd want anybody else but your left back to get that ball. But luckily, the touch was that bad. It didn't go very far, so he could go and score the goal. But having seen the replay of that, that they have from that fan camp thing near the goal, God, he was buzzing with it. To score scoring your first goal away at Bolton with all them fans there, that is what dreams are made of. And
That might be the
he's
happiest
good
I've seen a
recently.
player to
Really
score.
pleased with him. Yeah.
I felt sorry for, you just mentioned Odin Bailey. I felt particularly sorry for him because, I mean, usually he's the fall guy in terms of losing his place to facilitate a so-called important player coming back. Yesterday was a bit different in that he was moved around on the pitch to facilitate Lewis Bate coming in. I think it's fair to say did not cover himself in glory in that first half. He looked lost.
It's gets the ball goes backwards, and where the goal actually comes from, not directly, but in that spell of possession, he's passed the ball backwards when he had 10 yards in front of him that he could move into or players to pass the ball to. And I think it is worrying how good we looked when he wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because we had attacking, forward-thinking players. You know, Osborne moved into the middle, and Bailey back into where he's been playing. But yeah, it's I don't know what's happening. He's going to need pre-season, and he needs to get back to his best.
It's almost a case of just writing him off for this season now, and anything else is a bonus. Get him fit for next season.
Yeah. Does he suit Championship more than League One? We've seen it in some players before. The pace of the game's different. The space that he gets different. So maybe, hopefully, he'll be able to show us that next season.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out firsthand.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
even,
we're definitely look better without him.
Is it weirdo behaviour to go 1-0 up after 40 minutes at home and then shush the away fans?
Yes.
Particularly given we weren't making a load of noise at that point anyway.
Well, I was going to ask, was he getting any particular abuse from fans?
No. Or Sam Dolby wasn't. Mind you, I think Sam Dolby might go down as our most forgettable player of all time. He's certainly a contender.
Definitely.
Because he wasn't... He certainly wasn't great, but he wasn't like so terrible that it stands out. He was just there and possibly won a competition to be there. But yeah, so he didn't get anything. So yeah, it's very odd that this player kind of took it upon himself. So, yeah, very.
Well,
very
I do think
peculiar.
I'd do something. If I was a professional footballer, I'd do it.
Yeah.
That probably says more about me than.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an us issue because I fully agree with you. I'm like, yep, fully on board. So there was a period of about 15 to 20 minutes after we'd gone 2-1 up where the swagger was back. We looked casual in a good way this time. We looked comfortable on the ball. Norwood was taking his time, spraying it round. We just looked on top. But there was always this sense of, well, we know Bolton are a good side. They've been up there all season. They're going to have chances. And then as soon as they did, the subs seemed to suit them more than they suited us in terms of the benches, which is something Keith Hill said on Radio Manchester as well about he felt Bolton's bench was far superior to ours. As it showed, because they really started to get a foothold then. They were just pouring forward, and it did seem as though it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Did not expect it to happen in the way it did, and I have still not seen it back. So tell me all about it.
Oh, I mean,
Great finish.
Great finish from Ben Osborne. There's nothing else you can say. Again, you look at Joseph Oluwu and think he could do better when the initial ball comes in. Osborne's got to try and get something on the ball. If he doesn't, then we're asking questions. You're there, do something. And I think if he tried that another 50 times tomorrow from that position,
Yeah,
he wouldn't put it as beautifully past the keeper as he did do there. But I think he was great when he signed for us. Then he had a little bit of a period where he was a bit passive in games, reliable but not doing much at either end. But I think the last 3 or 4 weeks he's been really, really good at getting to his best. He seems to me one of the players that, like we said about Challinor last week, Osborne lives for this time of the season. 3 assists in 3, all unbelievable crosses. Unfortunate for him that he got that own goal yesterday, but he won't be bothered by that. I think he put something on Instagram last night. I can't remember what it was, but it's basically just to say, "Oh well, fuck it, we move on."
I think a lot of the reactions from the fan base have been very measured. I know I've seen, but the majority of Bolton fans seem to be of the opinion that a draw was a fair result, which I'd completely go along with. then again, to them, it'll probably feel, because obviously they're the ones who've come from 2-1 down to get an equaliser. I would have thought with our fans there would be more of a sense of it feeling like a defeat, conceding a late goal like that. But there's not, which is it's good to see. There would be the potential there to have. We still do, of course, have the problem that we are going to most likely end up having to play them in the playoffs one way or another thing. Because I think 25,000 in there, that's the type of thing that will make a difference when it comes to the playoffs and stuff. It almost would have been nice to lose yesterday, just to know that that thing's over. That run for them is over now.
Yeah.
That was the first time they've scored against us since we've been back in the Football League. In a league game anyway.
In a league game, yeah. Did I hear on telly, by the way, just before the game, it sounded like they were showing highlights of when we played them previously, and they had to go back to the EFL trophy at Edgeley Park to show the highlights.
Yes, I think that did pop up on the big screen.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Very weird. The announcer on the telly going, "Oh yeah, let's take a look at back the last time we beat Stockport." So, come on now.
Yeah. No one's asked. Very strange before kickoff, because with about 10 minutes to go, all the music just seemed to go off, and they were playing this video on the big screens, the screens in the corner. Yeah. It seemed like an atmosphere was building, and then they just killed it stone dead for 10 minutes of having kids waving flags on the pitch while not a lot happens. It's very weird.
Yeah.
You get the sense it'd be a really good atmosphere there if they kind of ditch that and get. But they're just playing these videos, and no one was having it at all. Yeah. What else is from
Kyle Wootton getting abuse? No, he's not getting abuse. Sorry, abuse is far too strong. But he's getting pelters for not passing the ball to Louis Barry. Why didn't he pass the ball to Louis Barry? Let's just give Kyle Wootton a little bit of a break, as he's not had a break. You could see from the second he picked that ball up that he was just running empty. Not forgetting the fact he's got a newborn baby in his house. And as a man of severe experience with a newborn baby in my house, absolutely knackering, and I didn't have to play football at the time every day or every week. So, if that was in the first half, that pass is getting played. But unfortunately, he was just absolutely goose. And I don't know, is there a case that the sun's in his eyes as well, and he can't quite see where Louis Barry is? It was just unfortunate that it had to be Wootton, but I don't think he deserved all of the. He has got grief from it online. Let's not say otherwise. I don't think that's deserved. But having said that, I agree with what you just said, where everyone's been for the most part measured, and took 4 points over that Easter weekend against two potential playoff rivals. Yeah, job done for me.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, psychologically as well, before you even get onto points and goal difference and all that business, just have remained unbeaten against a side that we might well play again in the playoffs is very good for me. Very happy with that. We won't have the same luxury when it comes to Bradford in the playoffs. Let's just say that much. Right, on to one of the main headlines then. Genuinely laughed my willy off, Dave. Because it's funny, isn't it? It is funny when stuff like that. When there's like storyline and narrative wrapped up in things, it's very exciting. So we had the opportunity for Kyle Wootton to play him through. Couldn't find him. It would have been interesting to see how Barry would have done in that situation, because last season he puts that away. Let's see how sharp he is. It would have been a good barometer. So. He comes on 83rd minute. I think around the 85th, 86th is the chance for Wootton to play him through. 89 comes his first yellow. Few arguments, tactical foul. Take him on for the team.
Can we discuss, just before we go on to the second yellow, Dave Chandler said in his interview that he didn't know he'd been booked first. That was a bit too far away and we couldn't see what was going on. I'm thinking, he's about 60 yards away from you where you're stood. Of course you can see it. And
what's the lot on the iPad doing?
They call it a good yellow card, though, don't they? That's the one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Fernandinho built a career and several Premier League titles on doing that. So sorted. then so the second one, it's one of my fascinations of football, the buzz that goes around the ground when you realise a yellow card is about to go to a player who's already got one. And then there's always the thing in the back of your mind where you remember Graham Paul at the World Cup and you think, oh well, the ref might not realise that he's already given him one. We might get away with it here. And then the sort of murmur that goes, it was brainless, was it not? And then for people, I got one reply this morning on Twitter saying it was harsh. I was like, oh right, that's just one person. And then there was others saying, oh yeah, second yellow. No, the second yellow was the least harsh card ever. It's obvious.
It's up there with taking your shirt off when you score for me.
It probably was their throw-in.
Yeah, in that should just in football in general, should have played with butts for chucking the ball at nobody in anger. There's an argument to say no, they shouldn't. However, that's the law. It's dissent by word or action. That is dissent by action. Yeah. You're always getting a yellow card. To do that when you've been booked 2 minutes before, as much as we love Louis Barry, it's fucking stupid. It's just brainless. There's no need to do it. It could have, didn't, thankfully. Could have cost us because they hit the bar after that. So if that had gone in, I would have hated to have been in with the receiving end that he got in, would have got in the change room. But look to the Wimbledon game now, where you would assume, came on yesterday, you would assume he'll play a part on Sunday. Would that be the day that he might be able to start a game? No, now he's going to have to start again. So he's cost himself more than he's cost anybody else, and it's all avoidable. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer that to another season-ending injury, which was also
of course
a risk, because he was limping at one point as well. There was a brief period where he was limping. You think, oh God, no, here we go. Oh Christ Almighty. But where do you stand on players who've been sent off, not only getting a round of applause, but pretty much a full standing ovation?
See, had that been somebody else, that wouldn't have happened. I think it was a mixture of, look, it's Louis Barry in his first game back, and I think if he didn't get the round of applause then, he wouldn't have got a welcome back other than coming onto the pitch. If I was there, would I have clapped? No. But do I understand why some did? Yeah, I think I do. But I wouldn't have done it myself. Although the annoying thing is, if it was, let's say, Malik Mudazil or Lewis Bate, would they be walking off with claps? No, they wouldn't. Which makes you think it's just because, they wanted to show appreciation, not just just for him being back more than anything. But I wouldn't have joined in.
So I think that's fair to show appreciation for him being back, but so many people clapped that it seemed like a full standing ovation. So people should have been nominated beforehand. It's like, right, if Louis Barry gets himself sent off, you clap, you clap, you clap, you don't clap, you don't clap, you clap. So it seems like people, because I got really annoyed. I was there like, what are you clapping him for? He's a child. He needs to grow up. I went very strict. I would say that was the oldest I've ever felt, but my nephew came up to me this afternoon and said, Nick, can I ask you a question? I said, yes, you can, Finley. He said, when you were a boy, who was your favourite YouTuber? And I had to say, we didn't have YouTube when I was a boy. We didn't have YouTube when I was becoming an adult.
Yeah.
Last week.
True, yeah.
But yeah, I did feel like very against modern football at one point. The only time I think a full stand round of applause for a sent-off player is acceptable, I think it is when you're trying to protect the result, opposition striker goes through on goal, and you hack him down, taking the red and leaving a free kick. That is the honourable way to get sent off, I think.
Or if they scored a hat-trick beforehand. Not if he'd been on the pitch a matter of minutes, got 2 stupid yellow cards. Yeah. All right, we accept the first one, but it's still stupid. Hopefully he'll learn from it. It's just, I mean, it gives an opportunity now to Malik Mudazil, hopefully, who has been coming on at those times in recent weeks, has been doing well when he's come on at those times in recent weeks. And now, it was funny when Diamond went off, his face sort of suggested, "Oh, this is me now. King Louis back. Here we go again."
Yeah.
So I think Jack Diamond on Jack Diamond yesterday. I thought he was playing more forwards when he was on the pitch. That's where he's good at. That's his position, isn't it? When people say, "Oh, they can't defend," no, he's not. He's not a right back. He's not a right wing back. No wonder he can't defend. He shouldn't have to defend. That's not his position. Yeah. So to see him being able to play further forwards and showing us what he can do a little bit more was good. Only problem with that was most of our play went down the left because we're taking advantage of their right back, which worked well. But no, I hope we can see him playing further forwards in the coming games. We won't on Sunday, but after that, hopefully we will.
Yeah, well, is there anything else on tomorrow before I hit you with a random county non-league goal of the week and we get on to what we think we'll see on Sunday?
Absolutely not. We've covered it all.
Brilliant. In fantastic fashion. Can't argue with that. Measured, fair, hilarious. The three amigos. Right. So Chris Eaton has furnished us with a random county non-league goal of the week. I don't know what it is yet. Sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. This came through just as we'd gone live, so I've not watched yet. Let's have a look.
Here's one of them, Matty Waters, only 21. He's come through the ranks, finding Marn again. Comes in off the left touchline. Minigan hassling him all the way back towards the halfway line. Marn twisting and turning, gets away from Minigan, finds Roberts. Roberts fires it forward, County's defence. The line wasn't right then. Stott and Palmer. Well, you'd like to have seen them side by side then, but it allowed Dudley to get onside and they almost capitalised. County rather fortunate to get that clear. But it's Darren Stevenson now to bring it away for the Hatters. It's a great surging run from left to right. He's got Thomas ahead of him down the right-hand side. He uses him now, and Thomas will cross towards the near post, towards Niall Bell, who turns it back to Stevenson, who squares it for Walker! County on the counter-attack have doubled their lead, and it's Sam Walker who's punished Chester for some sloppy defending again. It's Chester 0, County 2, and the Hatters fans in dreamland.
What a move from County. Started by Darren Stevenson, picked the ball up on the left sort of angle, 40 yards from goal, drove it across field, played it into Thomas, who then fired it across to Bell, played it back, I think it might be, I'm not sure if it was Warburton, he squared it to Sam Walker, who stroked it in. What a move, the first bit of real quality in the game, and County take a 2-0 lead. What an absolutely brilliant goal that was.
I always worry when one of those clips starts with the opposition in our box. I always think, has Eaton fucked up here? Has Eaton messed up and furnished us with the wrong video? Right.
Just before stick on that goal. First of all, you could see me in the celebrations in the crowd there. Second, at half time when it was 3-0, I backed us to win 6-0, 20-1 at half time.
Oh, very nice. I mean, I like an idiot, lumped on Louis Barry to score the next goal when he came on. That was a good move. That went well for me. Yeah, really happy with that. I also backed both Kyle Wotton and Nathan Lowe to score on Friday. So my run of winning bets on payday weekend is fully over.
Well and truly.
That's over with. Yep. Self-exclusion might be coming soon. Right, on to Sunday then. We have a full midweek ahead of us to get ready for Sunday's game. Our final 3 midweek, is it not? I think it is.
Well, this week, it must be. Because we've got Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Rehearsed.
Excellent. That's a great rehearsing. Great. I didn't rehearse it. So the headline team selection wise is Josh Dacres-Cogley, who also received a fair few boos yesterday. Weirdly, when he was frozen out and forced out. Very odd. So he's definitely out. We know that much. Dave Challinor has alluded to possibly having a left footer at right back, which damn an indictment on Roman Dixon, who once again found himself woefully got in some very good positions going forward yesterday, but then found himself hopelessly out of position, in hilarious fashion. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, so you do think maybe he won't be I mean, we had that period of Shea Gardner being starting right wing back
in this competition as well, and doing really
yeah,
well.
and he did well, and then we decided to go back to the players that we decided to get rid of in January in that position.
Yeah.
Over him, very weird. But we're quite. I know there'd probably be an argument that Gardner isn't great defensively, but neither is Jack Diamond or Roman Dixon, and they get the nod in that position sometimes. So I don't know. But how do you see us shaping up? So if we start at the back, I mean, it could be contentious. The goalkeeper, the choice of goalkeeper. Which way do you think we're going?
So last week,
I'd be picking Ben for Wembley now because he's very much second choice.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Last week or the week before, I said if I was Corey, I'd be fuming based on him getting us there, and I'll still stand by that. If he doesn't play, he'll be fuming. But if we go off what he's done in every cup game since probably being here, Crystal Palace included, the number one keeper at the time has not played. Corey Dy's in the form of his county career at the moment, definitely, which cements him as number one. So, sticking with that theme, I'm going to put Ben in as the keeper on Sunday. But I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be happy for either of them to play, which I wouldn't have said as recently as 5 weeks ago. So that says it all.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice that one position is at least covered. Not so much when we build forward from there. Where are you going with that defence? Because I mean, we could go back 4, we could be back 3 or 5. Either way, there's going to be players in there that maybe you're not comfortable having in there.
Yeah. So I've got my surprise inclusion based on what we've seen in this competition so far. I'm going with Diamond as a right wing back. That's not the contentious one. Oluwu, right centre back. Ethan Pye in the middle. Dodgson, left centre back as he's played there, and then Osborne on left wing back is what I'm going with.
I do think that's what we'll go for.
I don't want a left footer at right back, whoever it is. I don't want it. I don't like it.
We've tried that, didn't we? Try that with Teo Eden at some point this season. It did not go well.
Yeah. Ibi Toure played there before he played at left wing back, I'm sure. He played 3 positions before he played in his right position when he played for us. Yeah. The experiment doesn't work. Just go with the right footer there.
It's mad though, isn't it? Because teams that, I mean, it's not massively accepted, but teams are happy to go with a right footer at left back. If you look at how long City played with Cancelo at left back, and obviously Trippier and Livramento both do it at Newcastle. It's mad how managers aren't as happy to have a left footer. Well, I suppose there's less left footers, isn't there? So you do have to. That's probably it, actually. Yeah, there's no big conspiracy. It's just that there's less left footers. So, yeah, but no, I am not one for having players at fullback on the opposite foot. So, yeah, I think Diamond and Osborne probably will be where we'll go. And yeah, Pye moving to the. In fact, Pye moving to the centre may well be better for him because he'll have less tendency to get caught out in wide positions on the ball as he has done. We've seen a fair bit of that with him in a back 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, might be better for him to keep his. It'll be more of the emergency defending being done there by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good leader, I think.
Where you going
as well?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
And then the midfield 3 will be Odin Bailey, who better start that game.
Has to.
Ollie Norwood and Stokes in front of them 2. That's my 3. Don't think that's contentious in the slightest. And that is what I think we will and should go with.
Yeah, there's been a lot of messing around with Josh Stokes recently, and there's been times where he's been asked to play deeper than maybe he's used to. There's been points where he's been asked to come in off the left, and that's rendered him almost ineffective. But if we can get him in that 10 position, dropping on the second balls, that should be where he's played all his career.
Yeah,
I don't see the need to try and move him. We've signed him knowing how he plays and what he does, and I just don't. I'm not very comfortable with the idea of asking him to do something different. Just not. And especially the fact that that was the profile of player we needed in January, and then we signed someone with everything we need, and deciding to shunt them round a bit. But Bailey is a must. I think if we've not learnt this by now in the last few weeks, then it'd really help if we could learn it ahead of Sunday. Don't be sticking him out on the right or having him in the 10. Just have him in the centre with Ollie Norwood. Be in the legs. That's common sense.
Yeah. And the only other shirt up for grabs for me is who plays with Wootton. It's got to be Sidibe.
Yeah.
Tanto's been playing great recently. If he's got a knock, then don't risk him, because it's still, although a really important game, he's still got a huge part to play after Wembley. He scored at Wembley for us. Well, he hasn't actually. I'm not going to say that. It wasn't his goal at Wembley. Definitely
it wasn't. It was definitely an goal.
But he's got good experience at Wembley with us. So definitely a good one to bring off the bench. But I think if the form that Sidibe's in and the space that's going to be available behind that slow back line is unbelievable. And if you can get the ball to Bailey and Stokes, or obviously Norwood, get it in that channel, then it's just going to be ridiculous. Yeah. Play to the strengths. But I think with that 11, to recap, Hinchcliffe, Oluwaseyi, Dodgson, Diamond, Osborne, Bailey, Norwood, Stokes, Wootton, Sidibe, we will be bringing that trophy home. That's exactly the 11 I'd be going for as well.
I think the contentious one would be Sidibe over. In fact, no, I don't think it's even contentious. I think form-wise, Sidibe has been better, and he's our player. We have more to benefit from him, like taking in these big occasions early on in his county career. I think that's completely fair.
Yeah. Ian Howard said he thinks it would be unfair to drop Corey. We need to keep consistency and confidence carrying on to the league games. Look, I agree with you. I definitely do. But the consistency for me would be playing that number 2 goalkeeper in those competitions. And Corey's going to have a busy old 3 or 4 weeks coming up. So yeah. Like I said, happy for either of them to start. But
and it's not like if Ben was to come in for the final, it's not like Corey is losing his place after having put in some poor performances. It's it's almost a case of going out at the top. He knows the number 1 spot's his, so it might be easier for him to accept that he's not going to play in this one. But it's not a decision I'd like to make, and that's the way I go. But like you said, you wouldn't have said it a few weeks ago that I'm happy with either playing that. So it just goes to show how because I think I mentioned in the group chat on Friday how assured he looked, particularly against Wycombe. He actually looked 6'8" again. We've talked before about him. He'll make a mistake or he'll concede when he thought he could have done better, and he just shrinks. But he was collecting crosses particularly on Friday, where he was just rushing out, like happily cleaning everyone out. There's always been this thing where you worry that he worries a bit about knocking into other players while he's doing it, but now he looks like he wants to use his height and clean people out. I think there were a couple of moments against Bolton where we saw a bit of that shakiness again, but that certainly wasn't the reason why we conceded the 2 goals. The 2 goals were not down to him at all.
No, not in the slightest. No,
it's going to be. I think either way there will be people at 1:45 on Sunday saying why has he made that decision. I get the feeling we'll have a weird left field selection in there. Would not surprise me. Which I'm fine with. If anyone's earned the right to make a left field selection, I think it's Dave Challoner, so I'm all for it.
Would Louis Barry starting? I know he's not going to, but would that be a left field decision?
That would be, yeah. I think it would also be unfair. I think have him on the bench, but I think it would be unfair starting him. Particularly, that's even. I think even if he'd come on and scored the winner yesterday, you'd still say, well, it's a bit. You can't go starting him just yet. But for him to get sent off in such a ridiculous way, then you're gonna, no chance. No, not for me. He will do it now.
On the subject of Luton, just to be serious for a minute, Luton tweeted before, as did County. We were devastated to learn over the weekend of the tragic death of 13-year-old Noah Campbell, hours after watching Luton's win over Peterborough on Friday. He was due to go to Wembley on Sunday, but due to a car crash, sadly, the 13-year-old Noah Campbell lost his life. So there's a minute's applause in the 13th minute of the game. So I implore all county fans to join in, pay their respects, so that it would have been there. Just so sad. And everybody knows my thoughts on minutes applause. In certain situations, this is what they're for.
Yeah.
To pay tribute to such sad circumstances like this. But county have
It's good that they've got the message out early as well. Really good. So there'll be 10,000 county fans observing that. We've hit the 10,000 mark.
Yeah, it sounds so much better than 9, even though it's just 1,000 more. It just does.
Yeah, and I think that's more. And I know we'll get the usual stuff from Luton fans saying it's Tim Pot and what have you, but I mean, we get about 8,000 or 9,000 at home, and that's how many we're taking away with us. No one can be accused of being I mean, we'll see how many come for for a possible playoff final, but you never know.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we took more to the virtue? Because I think we might sell more tickets this week. We're playing some good football now, and it's a bit exciting now. So are people going to think, oh, no, I can't miss it?
And weather's nice as well. That helps.
Yeah,
almost makes me want to have a day out at Wealdstone again.
I'm looking forward to it. Just the feeling I've got of being able to take Lily Knocking to Wembley, the same way that my dad took me to Wembley. It's just
and to have the whole if we do lose, then it'll be all right. It's not like if we lose, you're saying, well, what does this mean? What you can just crack on. We've got bigger things to worry about. A nice little bonus.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose, but there's so much to gain. You can have that one. Write that one down. We can lose nothing.
Click that.
Game, but we win. It gives us the confidence to believe that we can go on and do it. If we're back there in a few weeks' time, we've won at Wembley this season already, so we can go and do it again. It's just an exciting time. Obviously, you'd rather go up than win the virtue, but there's nothing to say that you can't do both. So let's go and do it. I'm really excited now. Now that we're playing well, I've almost convinced myself that I really, really want to win it. Obviously, I do. Everyone wants to win it, but I really, really want to win. It'd be great.
Yeah, it would want it. Just get it ticked off. Done.
National
Done then.
Cup. And there'll be another cup tour, won't there? A trophy tour for the whole summer.
Imagine we do that and then win the playoffs as well. Like it's gonna be the biggest
double trophy tour.
I've seen. Yeah, it'll just be booked all the way till Christmas then.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. Fine. Right. Is there anything else before we go?
We've done the lineup. What's your prediction for Wembley? Go on, hit me with the prediction.
Oh, I've got a feeling it's going to be penalties.
Is it extra time? Do we have extra time in the final?
I think it is. Yeah, I think we'll have an energy sap in half an hour of extra time first.
And we'll win on penalties. Did you say?
Yeah, go on. Let's have it. Yeah, which just brings in a new set of mental gymnastics for a possible playoff final. Where it's like, well, we've won one shootout this season. We're not going to win another one. Because that was very much my view as the Carlisle one. That's when you start messing around with keepers.
Yeah.
Wasn't there someone? Didn't someone this weekend bring a sub keeper on for penalties?
West Ham, and he said it was a really young lad making his debut, and he saved the first one. They got beat in the end, but
yeah. Well, why did they do? Why?
I think was he not injured, the keeper? I saw something of him.
West Ham are the most getting a keeper injured team I have ever seen in my life. I've constantly had either Fabianski or Areola in my fantasy, and it seems like one of them's always getting subbed for the other. It's just constant. I don't know what West Ham are doing with it. Whatever we're doing with our outfield players, West Ham are doing with the keepers. I don't know how they do it. Oh, that's the most West Ham thing. Oh, fair enough. If the keeper was injured, then for some reason I thought they'd just brought on like a child for the shootout, essentially.
I think
if there's an injury.
I think we're going to batter him in normal time on Sunday. 3-1.
Oh, it would be nice to, because then by the time all the City fans come in the pub, we'll already be done.
Yeah.
We'll already be like 3 up and what have you. That'd be nice, that, yeah. I'm definitely gonna get the room with the best telly.
Oh, you got to.
Gonna get there like 11 o'clock. Get my table. Get in for the day. Get the
You'll be
menu.
asleep by 2:30.
I was asleep by 2:30. Yeah. Well, I've just finished work at 6. It's gonna be upsetting. I might just go straight to Spoons after work and then just crack on with it. Right, I think we should leave it there. We'll be back. We'll decide after what day we're going to do next week, because you'll be en route back from Wembley on Sunday.
I will indeed.
With a trophy. So we'll look at Monday or Tuesday again, and then after that we'll be back on Sunday with 2 games a week to discuss.
2 games a week. What a time to be alive.
Much like Dave Challoner, we come to life at this stage of the season, I think.
Yeah. Also, this week brings to an end an Easter break for Stockport Dynamos, as we have 2 more league games. But the league table isn't that. The league isn't a league. You just play games. You don't see the league table because it's the young. However, 26th of April is then our cup final, so we could be on for a double trophy winning fortnight as things stand. So more to follow on that. If we win, I'll tell everyone. If we don't, then never happened. So we'll see. But does Philbin bring in silverware at the end of season 1 to be continued?
Imagine that though. God, it's like real life Football Manager. Finally.
I know. Honestly, I can't think of anything else in the week. I think about Dynamos on a Saturday before county. That's what I do.
That's
think about the permutations of lineups I can do, which is 5-a-side, and I've got 6 players. So there's not that many permutations. In fact, there's 6.
Yeah, you could like come up with a new one though. You could like,
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, come up with like a new game breaking formation that's just never been used, like a new system.
I mean,
is it overhead height there?
I might have already done that.
Well, that's very true. Pep will be coming to watch your training session next.
He will.
You can say, "Get out your balls, what?"
Yeah,
that's you saying that to him, not him saying it to you.
Clarified.
That'd be so mean. Imagine he did that. Imagine Pep just turned up to your training session, called you a ball twat, and left. It'd be horrible. I don't like him anyway. Right, so we'll be back next week. Don't forget, this weekend, Jonathan the Geordie Hatter is live with his guest, me, but with all the build-up to the game. But don't let the fact I'm on it put you off, because I've got a great song to bring with me, so it's worth it just for that. Dave, say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye, all the nice people.
Goodbye, all the nice people. Goodbye, all the horrible people. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.